Hey, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to talk about beginning in real estate. Now, there's a lot of people with different types of investment strategies. You want to do different things in real estate. Maybe you want to be a wholesaler. Maybe you want to do short-term rentals. Maybe you want to invest in real estate from a different state, right? You want to do long-term real estate. You want to do um, from state to state real estate investing. You want to do different strategies that work for you. Um, and maybe you don't have the income and that's why you want to wholesale. Maybe you don't really like your state and so you want to buy elsewhere. Well, all these things are good and dandy, but that is not what I'm going to talk about today. So I'm a long-term real estate investor. I invest in the states that I live in, and um, I also invest in states that I am familiar with. Would I invest in a state that I am not familiar with? Absolutely not. And I do not just take people's word for it. I will actually travel to the states that I'm doing the research in. Now, have I seen people have success just by contacting me, asking me what zip codes to invest in, and they start investing there? Absolutely. There are people who contact me on forums, on different apps like Facebook, and they'll ask me, hey, what zip code should I invest in X, Y, and Z? Hey, is this a great price to get into the market at? Yes. There are people who are more willing to take those risks than I am, and it has turned out well for them because they've trusted me to give them that form of advice. Now, would I personally do that? No. Now, there is an exception to that rule. If I have an investor friend that I am very confident in, then yes, I would partner on a deal out of state. And I would ensure that my name is on the deal, on the title, on everything. And so that I'm definitely okay with. Like, for example, my cousin is in PA. I have a friend who also invests in the PA market, and he lives in New York. I invest in the Columbus, Ohio market. Um, I also would invest in Florida or Texas. Um, Not much in of Florida anymore, but previously I would have really considered Florida. But with all the insurance issues and with all the state regulations and me just not agreeing with a lot of the governor's policies, which we won't be getting into today, I'm staying clear of Florida at this point in time. So with that being said, as a beginning real estate investor, if you're looking to do long-term real estate investing in your area, this is going to be the video for you. Make sure you like the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and make sure that you have your pen and paper out because we're about to get right into it, okay? So as a beginning real estate investor, I'm going to go over what I did in order to get into real estate. So the first thing you want to do is go to an open house. It doesn't have to be the biggest and brightest and best house in the world, but you want to go to an open house. What I would suggest you do is if you live in a market like mine, you're going to see houses from $140,000 to $2 million in Columbus, Ohio. Okay? And so what you want to do is you probably want to go and see like a $900,000 house that is on a what is it called? The open house. And when you go to that $900,000 house, what's going to happen is that the real estate agent is going to give you a card, they're going to give you a brochure, and they're going to say, hey, these are the amenities that this property offers. Here's my card if you want to get in contact with me, and let me know what I can do for you. These are agents who are maybe new, maybe not, who are very serious about their business and willing to just greet, say hi to people, smile, and really be out there on a Saturday or Sunday, right? These are agents who are dedicated to getting a deal done and getting paid, right? They're looking for the potential to get paid. And that is what you need as an investor. So for me, I found my real estate agent um, on like a $650,000 property. And he was doing open houses. We just randomly happened to stop by that open house. And about 2 to 3 months later, I called him and I said, "Hey, I have this house that I want to see. Can we get in?" I was already at the property and I just called him and he drove right there, right then. Like at a moment's notice, was just drove there, opened the door for me, said hi, didn't really know who I was because it's been 2, 3 months, right? And we just hit it off. He toured the property with me. And listen, it was probably July. It was probably July. When I tell you, I went and toured so many properties. I was doing 2 properties, 3 properties, 4 properties in a day. We would tour all these properties. And it was almost Christmas. My real estate agent was about to go on vacation with his wife. And I promised him, I said, "Hey, I just want to see this one house." And my uncle also gave me a deal for this duplex at the time. So we went to see the duplex as well. So we saw 2 properties that day, and I promised him, I said, "Hey, if you allow me to tour these 2 properties, I'm going to purchase one. I promise you, this time I'm so serious." And so he said, "Okay, I'm going to do it." And so he just looked at me when we was in the single family house and he said, "So what do you want to do? Do you want to buy the duplex or do you want to buy the single family home?" And I just looked at him and I said, with all of our experience, because we already know, with all of the experience, if I had said the duplex, I would not be paying $215,000 for it. It would have at least went $5,000 to $10,000 over asking. And then we would have got the dreaded words that we don't want to hear. Best and final offers by 12 a.m. And I already knew, even if I put in an offer, if it wasn't $10,000 over, it wouldn't have even matched what others would bring into the table. So I said, instead, let's just buy the single family property. Okay? So with the single family property, I was actually able to negotiate $5,000 off. There was no other sellers trying to buy. I was able to negotiate $3,000 for the closing costs. I was able to do a lot more negotiation. I was able to get the security system to stay in the house. So there was a lot of beautiful things. I was able to get some fire systems installed. And so these are things, and they left flooring for me as well. So they didn't take the flooring. I have additional flooring in the basement. I mean, these are beautiful things that I was able to get with this property. And then most of all, it was cash flow positive, very, very heavy cash flow positive. And so it was an amazing investment. So when I talked about my real estate struggles in a previous video and how intimidating it can be to start off in real estate, understand that I had an additional reason to buy that property. It was because I was really wasting my my agent's time. And it's really not funny to say that, but as a new rookie investor, you want an agent who is going to show you properties, who is going to take you everywhere you want to go. And when I was able to tour every single zip code, every single property, I knew what every property was going for. I knew how much over asking people were going to pay. I knew that I was going to have to compete on that duplex right away. And I knew if I didn't want to waste my agent's time, I had to stick to this single family house. And I knew it was going to cash flow. I knew it was going to work. I knew it was going to save me money. And I knew it was a damn beautiful house. Okay? And so when all of those things compounded together and we were finally under contract, I had zero worries in the world. Now it was my chance to get a better interest rate. So I was shopping my rate around. So I went from a 3.25% to a 2.625%. These are the things that I can now do on my end to make the cost of home ownership that much more lucrative. So I've already negotiated the $5,000 off. I already got $3,000 in closing costs. That's an $8,000 swing just by moving my lips. And now I negotiated a 3.25% rate to a 2.625% rate over a 30-year period. That is significantly going to reduce how much interest I pay over the life of the loan. And so all these things compounding together just made a great deal, an outstandingly great deal. And so those are the things that we look for when you begin your real estate journey. How can you maximize on every little thing in order to get the best deal possible? And so, again, for your beginning real estate investors, go to open houses. Find your real estate agent. Find someone who is willing to work with you and allow you to tour every single property you want. Find someone who is willing to put in just as much work and just as much knowledge. Now, understand, my real estate agent, if I had told him I wanted to go and bid on that duplex, he would have said, okay. And if I had said, hey, I want to go in at Axkin, he would have said, okay. But then what would have happened? We would have had to up our offer. And if I upped it by 5,000, we still would have lost the bid, right? So that would have left us in the same situation. If I had upped it by 10,000, it would have at least been a competing bid. But at this point, we may have to even go up to 15,000 in order to own this duplex. Now, looking at it now, I would have definitely paid 15,000 over asking for that duplex because it is worth far more today than it was just 3 years ago. However, in the time, we wasn't ready to pay over that. And to be honest, even if I had paid 15,000 over asking, it would have cash flowed beautifully. But those are the things that I wasn't looking at the time. I wasn't looking at how much could I cash flow in the property even if I paid a little bit more. All I was looking at was what is the price of the house and how much lower can I get it for? And unfortunately, in that market, we wasn't getting anything for the low. Okay? So what takeaways should we take from this video? Find you an agent that is willing to tour properties with you. Understand the market that you're investing in. Don't always look for the low deal, and make sure you look for a great deal that is going to cash flow and appreciate over time. And if you can get into a great location, do not miss that opportunity. Also understand that you must be factoring the cost of maintenance, repairs, and turnover in all of your deals when you're getting started, and make sure that you have someone who is not pressuring you or making you feel bad about touring other properties. My real estate agent never made me feel bad for wanting to tour multiple homes, and because of that, I always continue to choose him for every single investment that I wanted to see. And because of that, when it was time for me to buy, he was the one that I went to. Imagine touring 40, 50 properties, and then you get angry and then you don't tour the 51st property. And now, because I have the experience that you've afforded me, someone else gets the money from that deal. That is very unfortunate. Luckily, that wasn't the case for my agent, and luckily that wasn't the case or experience with me. My agent stuck in there and he was able to get the deal done. And that's why he's one of the most top agents year over year in the Columbus market. So again, you have to stick with it. You have to stick with the plan. And this is for the real estate agents out there who deal with investors who say no to several deals. Make sure that you're the one that they say yes to. Don't be the one that they don't say yes to. If they have a pre-approval in hand and they're saying no, guess what? That pre-approval is money, and that money is going to be spent with someone. So you want to be sure that you're the one that's getting that money. So for all my real estate investors out there and for all my real estate agents out there, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you are aware of all the videos that I'm posting in the future and moving forward. And then check out some of my videos that I've already posted. You know I post every single day at 8 a.m. daily on YouTube and on Rumble. And I can't wait to see you on the next one. Peace.